Uh-huh. You know who it is. You know what's Lex here. Let's get into this Leo full moon, baby. Make sure y'all pick up a copy of Astrostetics, one of the greatest astrology books of all time. So everybody, we have a Leo full moon coming up, and this is going to be beautiful. When we're dealing with Leo, we're dealing with courageousness, the heart, pride. Think about it. When we say feel it in your heart, this allows you to generate courageousness so that you can creatively assert yourself. This is what Leo deals with. Leo deals with creative self-assertion of the ego. When we're talking about the ego is essentially what we bring forth to the world. But it is already within us. That is Aries. When we're dealing with Leo, we start propelling that. We start asserting that. And this is why Leo revolves around creativity, creative self-expression, and also romance and love. When it comes to romance and love, they say, is a verb or an action. They say love is an action. Love is something that must be shown and presented forth. When it comes to love, how will someone know that you love them if you don't creatively assert your love for them? And this is why Leo also revolves around love and romance. Yeah, make sure y'all pick up a copy of Astrostetics right now, because we about to get all the way into this. When we're talking about Leo, we are going to have a full moon in Leo. We have Mercury in Capricorn, which is going to be aspecting this moon as well. And when we talk about the moon and Mercury and also the sun's involvement with this is going to 100% center around our emotional authority, as well as the childhood emotional relationship with self and how that relates to maturity and authority. And when it comes to Aquarius, right? Y'all know I was doing my That's one side of Aquarius, right? The unorthodoxness, the fun, the more unpredictable side. But then there's another side of Aquarius that deals with maturity and the community. This is why Saturn is also the ancient ruler of Aquarius, because when it comes to the community, this is essentially what opposes Leo. And we have the full moon in Leo, so this will center around our emotional authority in relationship to our creative self-expression. And this can also enter a department of childhood emotions. When it comes to the emotional connection between your creative inner child, listen, the whole inner child talk has become very popular, right? Just like the shadow work conversation and some of these typical new age spirituality tropes. Inner childhood healing, yoga, right? All of these things, when it comes to the full moon being in Leo, I feel like this is a great time to focus on that. People make it seem like the emotional healing inner child journey is something that, now listen, I know different people have different things going on, but what I can say is that when the full moon is in Leo, you paying attention to that creative inner child, the inner child awareness, even how you deal with romance and love, and how you creatively assert yourself. All of these things are very important to analyze when the full moon is in Leo. Now, when we have the Mercury in Capricorn, this is going to deal with working with authority, how we speak, the relationship between how we speak to older people, right? How we speak from a perspective of experience, and this is fantastic. And it can almost feel like you're communicating with the maturest parts of yourself emotionally. And this is very beneficial because when it comes to the creative assertion, at times you have to take that extra leap. This is the discipline factor when we're speaking about Mercury and Capricorn. There is an essential need at times to rationalize the discipline factor. Yes, you want to have fun, and also there are times when the fun will come in as a result of the experience, and almost the fun doesn't matter. It's essentially doing the action, and this is how you gain experience and how you develop authority in your chosen field. Now, when we're talking about the creative factor, we're not talking about always being artsy, right? Or even being a creative in a sense. This can also deal with children. The emotional connection with your children, the emotional connection with your children's maturity. How do you feel? Maybe some of y'all that are parents, and even some of the children, the relationship with their parents, may be questioning and analyzing their own sense of maturity with the community and the authority around them. And this is why it's important that this full moon in Leo, you really analyze that relationship between your inner child and the authorities around you. Now listen, depending on the construct of your own personal natal chart, this energy, it may be different. Alright, we all have different charts. We all have a different cosmic relationship with the universe. When the full moon is in Leo though, there is an amazing window of opportunity to analyze and really assert the creative authority of that inner child. And when this happens, this is when we get to a potential of inner child healing and generating emotional authority to have authority around our creative self-expression. And this can benefit a lot of people when it comes to business, when it comes to even spending time with your children, spending time with your parents, spending time with elders. Remember, we have the Mercury and Capricorn aspect, speaking with elders. How are you communicating with the elders around you? And this is where some of the emotional maturity can also come from. Taking the time out to communicate with the elders. Taking the time out to rationally master how you communicate. What is the logic and the experience in what you are trying to communicate? This is why Capricorn also deals with mastery. Don't forget, we had a Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. Remember, I told you, I don't think that just because we did a beautiful video, we do beautiful videos on these transits, that the transits just go away. No. In Astrostetics, we always say that these transits are continuous, right? You have a part 1, a part 2, a part 3, a part 4, a part 5, a part 6. These transits are ever continuous, all right? And remember, we had a Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. So the things that you were analyzing, the authority that was retrograding, that you had the chance to analyze. Mercury deals with detail and analyzing, orating, speaking, talking, communicating, the mind, the mindset. All of these things is why the retrograde is important, because when Mercury is retrograding, those things the mind will be in that department. And when Mercury goes direct or prograde, you can now communicate effectively in those situations, right? So when we speaking about this aspect of emotional maturity, authority, and the creative expression of that, it's very important that we analyze 100% all of the factors around these things. One of the most important things is experience. The creative self-expression and experience. Are you experienced in the things that you want to creatively assert yourself in? Because experience denotes authority. Authority denotes experience. When you have the experience and the capability to continuously do something great, this grants authority. Right? I hope this is making sense. But most importantly, when it comes to this full moon that will happen soon, it is tremendously important and vital that you analyze that relationship between the emotional self-expression, emotional creative self-expression. Remember, we're dealing with the moon, right? And we're also dealing with this Mercury in Capricorn and this Sun in Aquarius. And don't forget, the Sun is in Aquarius and Saturn is also in Aquarius. This is why we will have a conjunction. So this full moon in Leo will be followed by a conjunction next week. And this is also highlighting some focus around big tech. Y'all, this big tech thing is a thing, alright? When it comes to the relationship between and the responsibility, right? The emotional responsibility that we have to creatively honor ourselves. Are you creatively honoring yourself? Are you creatively championing yourself? Are you having that authority around romance? Are you showing love in the way that is most effective? Because this also will denote your authority around an aspect of your creative self-expression. And this is why this full moon in Leo is one of the most beautiful full moons ever. Because this, look, the Leo moons, I know, they always laughing. Alright, I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. Look, I don't know about the Leo moons you know, but the Leo moons I know, they're always laughing, having a great time, creatively asserting and creatively expanding and flowing. The Leo moons I know are some of the most emotionally creative people. The creative ways that they courageously express themselves, I love it because it allows them to emotionally create fresh energy. Like when you get around them, they'll laugh, and just their sense of emotional wit, they're very stress free. You get what I'm saying? And that's one of the things with that I love about that Leo vibe. But then when we go into Aquarius, there's that vibe for airiness, right? And both of these are taking place when the sun is in Aquarius, right? We're gonna see some things going on in media, and this is also an aspect of technology, right? Because with media and technology, and then this also echoes in to that Mars and Gemini, right? So essentially, we have the power players right now. The main power player is Aquarius, all right. The main is Aquarius, right? So this is a focus on the responsibility with technology. Are you being responsible with your technological devices? Or are you spanking off on Bornbub? Or are you spanking off on the thotty videos? Like I'm not playing. If I check that history, Is it gonna show that you was being nasty? Because this is something that can take away from some of your creative self-expression. So, and this is also, right, having the authority. Sometimes things may not seem as fun as you would want them to be, but when you're not always having fun, right? Y'all pay attention. When you're not always having fun, this can also help you develop experience, and you can have fun later, right? So this is an example of being disciplined, right? People who are into fitness. You don't think people that are into fitness sometimes want to sleep that whole another 7-8 hours and not do anything? You don't think they want to do that? That discipline factor, you may not have as much fun as you would want today, but with that experience, with that mastery, you can have a universe of fun tomorrow. And that is what this full moon in Leo, with this sun in Aquarius, with this Mercury in Capricorn, with this Jupiter in Aries, right? Today, we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful moon and Jupiter trine. So this full moon in Leo can be extremely fun. I recommend for this full moon, start, it's going to be that fire there, right? Aries, Leo. This fire with our emotional authority to create new emotional journeys. And when you create new emotional journeys, you'll realize that the emotional weight that past situations have had, they disappear, right? So some of that weird, pointless emotional baggage, that disappears. Y'all deal with this full moon properly, that weird emotional baggage that it's gone. But that is the purpose of having experience with dealing with that inner child. And this is why Leos make some of the most powerful healers. I'm telling y'all, man, them fire signs, man. Alright, so y'all know I'm big Pisces, right? But I'm gonna keep it a beam with y'all. A lot of them fire signs, like some of the things that y'all be thinking the water signs be doing, like the fire signs do that just as well. You get what I'm saying? Like I gotta keep it a beam, right? And it's that intuitive relationship between fire and water. And it's something that I think we should be very, very a bit more rational with, because right, when it comes to the fire, the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, they're very magical at times, just as the Cancers, Scorpios, and the Pisces, right? So y'all know, shout out to the Pisces out there, alright? Because Pisces season is next, and we got Venus in Pisces. Alright? So make sure y'all check that video out, and I hope y'all enjoyed this one as well. And make sure y'all pick up a copy of Astrostetics right now. Listen, y'all, we about to start going in with this book. Alright? I'm going to make a major announcement very soon regarding Astrostetics. Alright? So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. And make sure y'all go on the website in the description above. And make sure that y'all pick up a copy of Astrostetics. And I'll also put the Amazon link in there and the Barnes & Noble's link in there. Make sure y'all pick up a copy of this book right now. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Alright? And look, y'all know I'm so fly and so fresh. Alright? Look. Yo, y'all, make sure y'all stay great and stay positive and enjoy this Leo full moon. Alright? Peace, y'all.